Being competitive is always exciting. Everyone loves the satisfaction of winning and proving themselves worthy. This feeling can be achieved in many ways, but video games are probably the easiest way to do it because you don't actually have to leave your house or perform any physically challenging activity. Everyone who plays a lot of video games know games like CSGO, Overwatch, League of Legends, Dota, Hearthstone, Rainbow Six Siege, and maybe even Rocket League. These are all games in which you can play competitively and gain a rank based on your skill level. But there's a problem that every single one of these games have: bad teammates. A small exception for Hearthstone, but we'll get into that later. All of these games are team-based and require you to cooperate with random strangers in order to win. Usually you're able to queue up with pre-made teammates, but the chances of you having a full team of friends with equal skill level that are always able to play at the times you want to play are pretty fucking low. So you're often stuck queuing up with random people. And why is this so damn frustrating? Because you often lose games just because of your teammates. Sometimes it doesn't even matter how good you are, there's just nothing you can possibly do to prevent a loss because one of your teammates are either feeding or AFK the whole game. In this video we will be going over the reasons as to why this is happening and how you can avoid it. In a game like Street Fighter, there are only two people playing 1v1 against each other. So mathematically, each player has control of 100% of what happens on their side. They decide when to attack, and when they get attacked, they can always avoid it somehow, every time. You cannot ever lose a game of Street Fighter without making mistakes somehow and letting your opponent hit you. You have the chance to foresee, block, or dodge every single move they made, but you failed to do so and lost because of that. Every time you play a game of Street Fighter, you can easily win if you're better than your opponent, but your opponent does have 100% control as well. So if they're better than you, you'll most likely lose. After all, you both have the same tools to win, so in the end, individual skill will decide who wins, usually. If you win or lose, it was 100% you. Every single thing that happens in a game of Street Fighter goes through you, and you have the opportunity to control it. In a game like League of Legends, you rely much more on your teammates because you're only one individual on a 5-person team in a 10-man game. That 100% control that each team has is now divided between each player, meaning that you only have control of 20% of your own team. So the remaining 80% control is given to the random players that are on your team. You can do your best in foreseeing, blocking, or dodging the shots that are aimed at you, but whether your teammates can do the same or not is out of your control and up to that random other person. You can tell your teammates what to do, and taking the role as a temporary leader can often boost your chances of winning. But not all people like to be bossed around, and if your teammates lack the proper muscle memory to pull off certain combos and such, there's not much you can do besides focus on yourself. There are so many places on the map in League of Legends, and you can't be everywhere at once. Most of the shots that are fired at your team that need to be dodged are out of your control and up to your teammates. If you win or lose in League of Legends, it was only 20% you and 80% your teammates. Basically, you don't have that much control in games that are team-based. We're just using League of Legends as an example here, but this applies to all team games. Let's take a small look at Hearthstone. Hearthstone is different, yet in some way the exact same. In Hearthstone, you're playing 1v1 against somebody else. So in theory, you should have 100% control here, like in Street Fighter, right? But you don't, because of luck. In Hearthstone, you can craft the perfect deck and play every single card right. But if you just don't draw the right cards, or your opponent's deck coincidentally counters yours, and so on, there's not a lot you can do. And the game then works out almost the exact same way as it does in League of Legends, where there's a large part of the game's win condition that is out of your control. In Hearthstone, luck takes a bite off your control percentage instead of your teammates. But both things have the same effect. It makes every match a gamble in both games. It's like a game of poker. The cards you get are always random. That part of the game is out of your control, and there's nothing you can do about that. But you can still choose how high you set the stakes and whether you fold or not. The same goes for all these games. The same goes for the whole world. There are things out of your control that you just have to accept. And now, the solution. Well, there are two things I think you should focus on to avoid losing to bad teammates. The first thing is patience and acceptance. If you truly are better than most people your rank, and you truly do deserve a higher ranking, you will move up. slowly. The inconsistency of your teammates will always slow you down, but at the core, you will always move in the direction you deserve to go. 50% win rate is average and means that you're staying in position, not losing or gaining rank. If you play a game where it's 1v1 like Street Fighter and you deserve way higher ranking, your win rate might be something like 80%, meaning that you win 4 out of every 5 games. That's a lot, and you'll be gaining rank fast. But if you play a game like League of Legends and you deserve way higher ranking, you may have a win rate that looks something like 55 to 60%, meaning that you win just a bit more than half your games. That is good, but not that much. It's small, and often too small for most players to notice. It can be frustrating when you see that you're clearly not progressing that much after 10 games or so. But statistically, if you are good, you will make your average win rate better and win more than you lose. You just can't always see it. In the short term, you cannot avoid losing, but in the long run, you can win by having patience and knowing that you are progressing. It all goes against your nature of needing visual proof of achievement, but you need to stay strong. It's like bowling, but without being able to see how many pins you actually hit. You just gotta know in the back of your mind that it's a strike, even if you can't get the satisfying feeling of seeing it immediately. Don't get me wrong, your teammates are dragging you down and slowing the speed of your progression if you deserve a better rank, but they also slow the progression downwards if you suck. Just be patient. The second solution is keep practicing and trying to get better. What matters the most? Having your dream rank or actually being good enough to deserve your dream rank? I wouldn't blame you if you said rank, but you know it's the skill. Not only because that is what's most important, but because it gives you the rank too, eventually. When you are in a game or done with a game, winning or losing, always try to evaluate your decisions and try to see where you can improve. Always ask yourself, was that move I just made worth it? Or is there something better I could do? Don't be so sensitive. If you're losing, just focus on what you personally can learn from the rest of the game. Don't try to boss the other people around or teach them how to play. You're never gonna see them again, ever. So why waste your time and energy on them? You need to focus on getting better above all. Because when you lose out on getting better, because you focus so much on your teammates, that is when you truly lose to bad teammates. Thanks for watching. If you have any criticism or opinion that you would like to express, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll make more videos like this in the future. See ya.